It all started when I was on a vacation in the coast Caribbean in Venezuela. At that point in time, there was a specific point in time where I thought I was gonna have a heart attack and pass out. And after that day, it just kind of spiraled into me, and all of a sudden I can hear stuff, feel every sensation across all the silly little things that you would never notice before. It continued having the exact same symptoms. It got worse. Going through this hard period of time is gonna not necessarily make life easier, but you do get stronger. You cannot buy what you learn from everything and going through it as well. The experiences that you get from it is worth $1 billion, even more. You can't even put a value on
it. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Shiv, one of the mentors in the Bye Bye Panic program, and I have the pleasure of sitting here right now talking to Emir. This guy is awesome. I mean, I don't spend too much time talking about how awesome he is. We're gonna let him talk to you, but you will see for yourself. And let's hear from Emir. How are you doing, man?
Hey Shiv, how is it? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm awesome. I'm chilling here in Sweden now at 10:30.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's not cold yet here, but it's all good.
You're already in my future because you're a few hours ahead of me.
Exactly.
But this is so cool because it shows us that, hey, anxiety can affect anyone, right? Anyone, anywhere all over the world. We were able to connect despite the distance, despite the time zones. And well, here you are, man, a recovered man. But tell us about that. We know you had your anxiety. Was this something that you struggled with just of recent times, or something that was there from a long time? And what were some of your biggest symptoms?
I'd say it wasn't something I had all over, like across the span of my life. It's something that kind of happened very periodically, and I can attribute it to like certain points in time where it developed into what I feel like was like anxiety symptoms, and when I felt the worst. It all started when I was on a vacation in the Caribbean, actually, or close to the Caribbean in Venezuela. And at that point in time, there was a specific point in time where I thought I was gonna have a heart attack and pass out, all that nasty stuff. And after that day, it just kind of spiraled into me considering like, hey, is something wrong with me? I'm feeling these symptoms, and all of a sudden I can hear stuff and feel every sensation across, all the silly little things that you would never notice before, but all of a sudden it's all amplified now. Yeah, after that trip, I got back home and I thought I was going to recover and be nice, but no, it continued having the exact same symptoms. It got worse at some point.
So because of that trip, right? Now, I think it's important that we recognize, though, that might have been the trigger event, right? But of course, there are moments in time in our life where we have high stressors, or we have moments of that fight or flight, high anxiety, but it didn't get to the point where we would have spiraled. So you may not have fallen in then, but it was just another straw added on until eventually we have the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Exactly.
See, who teaches us these things, right? Who teaches us the mindset, how to respond properly? So we usually just kind of react. And so for you, it was that trip. But for others, it could have been a trip as well, or just other things, right? There's so many reasons people fall in, man. But what you tried to do then to fix it? Because you would have gone back, and were you like determined to not have to live the rest of your life? What are some of the things you did?
Oh man, I tried everything. Mainly is I went to the doctors. I'm sure I'm not alone in this. I'm sure a lot of people have tried the same thing. They go to like a general specialist or, the general doctor and ask them, hey, can you just do a random checkup? Mainly what my problem was heart palpitations. And I always thought something is wrong with my heart. In the beginning, I thought I had arrhythmia because my father has it. So actually, I thought that's already occurred to me. 22 years young, I already have it, which kind of freaked me out. Then I went to get an EKG. I got it twice from two different doctors just to make sure. Both of them say it's completely normal. I got one in Spain and I got one in Sweden. So it's like I got from everywhere. Well, then all of a sudden I have something in my throat, stuck in my throat all the time. So I go to the doctor and say, hey, I think I have something to do with my tonsils. I have some hormone imbalance. that causes this, because my mom also has it. So I thought naturally it's something like this. So I was always trying to find an excuse to validate my feelings and being like, it's not anxiety, it's not me, it's not my mind, it's something physical, heart, tonsils, whatever. So yeah, I was always trying to fix the problem and just trying to find solutions.
Did some of that involve medication when you went to doctors, or?
I did get some medication from the doctor, and when I was in Spain, I got like some anxiety relief or anxiety reducing pills. And then I got like these headache pills, like just normal over the counter stuff. I didn't take the headache pills, but I did take the anxiety reducing pills, and I thought that was good. That was a solution for me. It calmed me down, but then that stopped working, and that's when I started feeling like, oh crap, something is like, if that won't calm me down, then there must be something else.
Was it that when it stopped working, you were like, damn, I need to find something else? Or even on taking these meds, you were thinking, I don't want to live on meds for the rest of my life. I need help. Was it a bit of both, or?
Yeah, great question. It was after the med stopped working, I was so afraid of going back into medication. And I've always been a healthy guy, athletic guy, and I never considered myself, I rely on any sort of medication. So all of a sudden I'm relying on medication, like a bit of my ego talking, but it's like, also, why should I rely on medication? But that's also when I kind of gave up hope and started becoming, delving deep into the lowest, I would say, before I found the program.
You did other things as well? Like, did you try like meditation? Did you like?
Oh yeah. Meditation was a big thing. First thing Google says is calm your nerves, do deep breaths, meditation.
Right.
When that doesn't work, you try to find something else, and when that doesn't work, you try to find something else.
Oh, so you are one of those people that was just scouring the internet, kind of looking for the cure, right?
Oh boy, I was constantly in front of my screen, in front of some screen, trying to look for an answer.
Yeah,
I was typical like scared teenager, scared young adult, just trying to figure out what the hell is going on with my life,
Yeah. It can feel pretty devastating, right? Like, because in your mind, you would have believed or expected to live a certain type of way. No way at all you would have planned, okay, having some sort of thing called anxiety. I mean, like, what's that, right? Like, that's when people get nervous. That's all. That's what you usually know on the surface. And we never really quite understand or know it until you feel it. And then it's like, it doesn't stop. Like, even if you had moments where, hey, you ever had a jump scare? And somebody just kind of jumped up from nowhere, and you're scared, you get like these palpitations, but then you calm down, it stops like within minutes. But being in the cycle, it's like being at the peak of a never-ending jump scare, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, yeah. So it's like, where's the off button? And that's when you start searching, right?
Exactly. I always associated anxiety with like, you're having a test, you get these healthy nerves, or like, oh, if I'm going to ask a girl out what she's going to say, is she going to reject me? Like these healthy kind of nerves.
Yeah.
But the anxiety cycle was a different ballgame, I'm not going to lie.
So you searched, you did all of these different things, and then you eventually found us, I guess, on a screen as well, right?
Oh yeah.
YouTube. All right.
It was, funnily enough, it was TikTok.
It was TikTok.
It was TikTok. TikTok was my comfort, comfort app. And I found Sean. It popped up on my algorithm. I don't know how the algorithm picked up that I was like looking for anxiety, reducing symptoms. But Sean popped up on my screen, and he described my symptoms exactly like I was feeling, everything I was feeling. And from that moment, I just went to his profile, slid to the left, and I was looking through all of his videos. And after that, I called my mom and said, "Hey, I think I know what's going on now with me in my mind."
Wow. Well, it's a good thing Sean has a TikTok.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So were you probably using, because we mentioned you tried everything, doctors, medication, trying meditation, Googling, all of that. Would you say you also tried, like, just from talking about scrolling through and finding TikTok, were you trying like distraction techniques too?
Yeah.
Trying to be
Yeah.
busy,
So,
whatever.
yeah.
So, like you said,
Yeah.
TikTok was one of your things, I guess, because it could just kind of hold your mind for a bit and you didn't have to focus on what was happening. But
Exactly.
it's so aligned that you ended up finding out about Bye Bye Panic. So how was that experience then? Like, okay, so you decided to get some info, but were you a bit skeptical at first, or you like right away, okay, this sounds like the real deal?
Skeptical, I wouldn't really say I was skeptical because at that point I was very desperate to find what was going on with me. Because
Gotcha.
I was living in Barcelona at the time, and like life was amazing, or it seemed amazing. You know, you live in this nice town, you're with students or
Yeah.
partying with friends, but somehow you're not enjoying it. You're not even thinking about it. You're always in your own mind.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was very desperate to regain my life and enjoy my city again.
Yeah.
So immediately when I saw, Sean explained it so beautifully in all of his posts, and
Hmm.
he knows exactly how to like express symptoms and describe them. And when I got to learn more about his life and how he was back in the days and how he looked in the past,
Yeah.
a very unhealthy young man, I could relate to that, and I just didn't want to become to that point where he was at his lowest.
Yeah. Yeah. There was like it was the same for me. I lost weight. In fact, it's so good that he was so transparent, right? Because he showed you you see the guy after, but you saw the before.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you can't fake that. And it's especially, and apart from just seeing videos, because sometimes you might think, hey, maybe someone edited that, right? But
Yeah.
when a person actually speaks about their experience, and you're like, man, I relate to everything. It's like check, every symptom, from the physical
Exactly.
to the mental, the emotional, everything. And then you're that desperate, as you said, just searching, looking everywhere, and you found this. It's like, okay, let me see if these people are for real. Let me give it a shot. So okay, so you got in touch with the enrollment folks, and you decided to get in. How long did you get involved with the program for?
I did the first 3 months, and then I just decided to extend it because after the first 3 months, I felt like, I know what to do, kind of, but I also felt pretty safe with you guys, and I also wanted to continue my journey and see where I could be in 6 months because, after 3 months, you might think that you have it all figured out, but then new stuff comes up in your body or symptoms come up, and then you're back to square one. I think so. I was in the program for 6 months, and after the 6 months, I felt like I have a good grip of all of it. I've learned everything I could learn. At that point, I wasn't in some of the meetings because I was comfortable enough to live life even if I'm missing a meeting. But that wasn't the case before. I prioritized it opposite. I did meetings then life,
Yeah.
and it switched to life then meetings.
Wow, that's great. So you knew we were there as like a hub for information, for encouragement, for support, to teach you things, but not as a crutch. And
Exactly.
that's good. You used the program the right way. So anything you'd like to share about like the content covered, the things that we teach on the modules, the mentors, just interacting with them. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite some time ago, but I still remember it pretty vividly because it was such an impactful part of my life, the whole program. For the first time in my life, I felt like I found a group of people that I could talk to openly, no judgment, people that can relate to exactly what I'm talking about. And, I felt like I didn't really have that in my life before. So it wasn't just that you guys were there as anxiety support, but it was also like, hey, you guys helped me to be more comfortable with myself, opening up, talking about my feelings. It was pretty comforting knowing that you, Mirka, Kaylee, and everybody was there to just listen to what I had to say and never judged, and also kept us in check when we're like using you as a crutch, for example. This started off in the Facebook group where you could just ask a question. And I remember in the beginning, the first 3 months, I was always asking questions just to seek validation for my feelings and my symptoms. I remember a really stupid question, which was like, I recently broke up with my girlfriend, but I'm feeling these symptoms. Are they related? Because I broke up, I'm feeling this depressed mood. And I got an answer from one of the mentors, and they're like, it could be that, but like, think for a second, like deep down, is it really that, or why are you even asking this question? What are you looking for an answer? If I tell you that it is because of that, are you gonna feel better? You're not gonna improve as your progress is not gonna go anywhere. So the modules and everything, the behavior of the mentors, professional, really kept us in place.
So you were actually one to appreciate the tough love, yeah?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
But I like that you're that transparent with it, because there are people out there that need to know that, right? Like, there is help out there, but it's not about, babying folks or helping them just kind of waddle in the sorrows. And it's like, hey, you're gonna have to do some work here. If we're gonna progress, you're gonna have to do some things. And I think that's what people out there need. That's a definition of having a coach, right? And a mentor. I think no one wants a wishy-washy coach, right?
No.
But at the same time, would you say, though, that while we were direct, or we would know exactly when to put that level of toughness, that it was easy to interact with the mentors and that they were available? How was that? Like actual sessions with them? How was that?
It was great. I mean, you get your chance to speak, you get your chance to hear what other people are saying. Every mentor has their own way of teaching. I think America is like, also tough, lovey, sarcastic, but also like deep down, she really cares about everybody. Shiv, you're more direct as well. Also really, tough love. Kaylee, I didn't have that many sessions with, but she seemed like, on the sweeter side, calm voice. And so I like that there's like customization options. I can choose any character I want depending on how I feel or whatnot. But I also do remember a thing that you said to me back in the days that stuck with me. It's like, because I come from an athletic background, sports background.
Yeah.
I love the analogy of you saying that you're my coach. So obviously my coach is not going to play the game with me. My coach is on the sideline. You have to go out and practice and come back to deliver results.
Yes.
The coach is expecting a result. He's not going to be there to pass you the ball. So I really like that, because it was like, Shiv said something that really resonated with me, my personality. Mirka might have said something else to somebody else that might have resonated with their personality, and same goes with Kaylee. So I feel like the coaches are very well like diverse, personal with you. And even if there's 10 people in the group, you still have, a personal connection with each coach, I would say.
That's awesome. And I think too that what qualifies the mentors is that they've actually been through this. And so, in fact, there is a video out there of me being interviewed by Sean. So okay. I do, right? I think you've seen that. And maybe some people are looking at this now and like, dude, really? And now they're going to Google it or look at it on YouTube, like Sean interview Shiv,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I came through the program as well. In fact, I'm technically one of the first that came through the program, got recovered. I had no clue there was something that exists called an anxiety coach, right?
Yeah.
This is a gift afterwards. I know the people looking at this can't believe it. It's like, what? I would not wish these symptoms on my worst enemy, right? It feels like a living hell. And to hear someone say, it's a blessing or a gift, they're like, are these people crazy, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But you see the transformation that happens, the way you eventually learn to master your mind and your emotions, and what we teach are methods. You realize it's something that we can use for life, not just anxiety recovery. And so you are not just the person that you think you've lost, you get that person back, but you're a better person too. Agreed?
100%. It's exactly how you say it. I thought everything I learned with you guys is, I'm just going to use it for this program and move on with my life, but that's not the case. You guys teach stuff that you can bring into any element of your life and any aspect. When I'm at the gym working out, and when I'm playing a really important game of football, or when I have to present to other people, you feel symptoms, of course, but it's like you just learn how to handle it, and you go back to square one, and you're like, this is how it was before, but now I'm equipped with better tools. So I do 100% agree with you that this transformation is beneficial. Going through this hard period of time is gonna not necessarily make life easier, but you do get stronger.
I did think that you were one of those guys that went through pretty smoothly. I think you recovered quickly, but hey, going through it, it doesn't feel fast, right? But you participated, you learned the methods, things that are taught here. I know you said you tried multiple things, maybe not anxiety recovery type programs. So maybe there's not a lot of comparison to other things versus what we do in your case, but it was put across in a way. Would you say that it was easy to learn, or would you say that, man, the things that we covered here, it just made sense? Like, tell me about that, the methods to be able to recover.
Yeah, you guys had acronyms for everything, so it was easy to remember. Uh, the 4 F's, I remember fear, frustration, and fighting. Super useful for me because every time I had a symptom, I referred back to those and then diagnosed myself quickly and could easily see what was I doing wrong. Am I fearing it? Am I being frustrated today? Am I, this and that? Am I fighting it? So I think like modules and methods that you guys were teaching was super comprehensible and easy. And I feel like you guys have like customized it so the general public or the general anxiety public can benefit from it. So I really never felt like any difficulties. And even if I did, I could easily ask during the video calls or offline as well, like posting something in the groups or whatever. So it was always that, comfort of, somebody's always online or somebody's, if you just wait another afternoon, you're going to get to talk to one of the mentors, no problem.
Wow. Thanks so much for sharing that and just being transparent about your journey, the learning here, the mindset. You're a pretty young guy with your whole life ahead of you, and now recovering, you basically have an unfair advantage over 90% of the world out there, right?
Yeah.
So how you feeling? Man, the world really is your playground. You've gone through the thick of things. But what would you tell that person then that is, a young you? That person who was at their lowest point, or talk to yourself at your lowest point.
Yeah.
What advice would you give for that person right now who's going through it and they're just looking for some hope? What would you say?
Yeah, I would honestly say be patient. Help is out there. Also, the hard times will pass. You might think that this is the whole world, but looking back at it, it was just a blip in your life. That blip made an incredible impact for the rest of your life, and what you gain from it is invaluable. You cannot you can't buy this. You cannot buy what you learn from everything and going through it as well. And you can't buy the connections you make with other people in the network as well, because the experiences that you get from it is worth $1 billion, even more. You can't even put a value on it.
Wow.
But mainly I'd say just be patient.
Whatever you would like to share, because you've just been so great. I love listening to you, man. Like, you could tell you're a guy that just came in and was all in and was coachable. I think that's why you got the results. But whatever else is left on your heart to share, floor is yours. Anything you would like to share? I mean, I had some questions and you answered them, but what would you like to say to wrap things up? Closing remarks.
Yeah, just like to offer a huge thank you to the program, to the professors, to the coaches. I'm so lucky I found Sean and you guys, and I'm so glad that he picked just you and just America, and you people specifically, that he picked you guys, because he obviously saw something in you that you could bring value to us. And also to anybody watching this, is you have to be patient and try not to find comfort behind the screen all the time and like distract yourself with social media, because social media can actually make it worse if you keep overthinking it. Listen to what the coaches have to say. Don't doubt what they're saying, and if you're not sure, just look back at other materials that they have, because it's going to help you. It's very valuable. So I'd like to just say a massive thank you to you guys, everybody in the coach and everybody that was in the calls with me as well, because I got to learn so much from other people that were in the cycle as well.
And a lot of those people like you are no longer with us because they're out living life, man. They've recovered.
Yeah.
And as you said, you get to network, so it's like you're probably in touch with a few of them and they're just out crushing it,
Yeah,
it's awesome. So you get to heal together, and it's just great. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know there's somebody looking at this right now and they are really appreciative that we got together to record this because you've given some people some reassurance. You've given them some hope. And for the people that are looking at this right now, related to everything Emir has said, you're like, man, this sharp, intelligent, good-looking guy is on here talking about struggling with anxiety in my area of the world, or maybe not your area of the world, but you realize that he came through it and he met with us. And if you are looking for some help as well, looking for a way to connect with us, we're going to provide some links on here. You can get in touch with our enrollment folks and, we see if it's a good fit, a good connection, and we'll do everything we can to help you recover once and for all. We know Emir did. So thanks again, bud. Appreciate you.
Good.
We're wrapping up here.
Thank you. Bye.